You ever get the feeling that everything in America is completely fucked up? You know that feeling that the whole country is like 1 inch away from saying, that's it, forget it. Let's see,
Now look, here's a house full of bees. You think the honey badger cares? It doesn't give a shit.
Listen, let's get one thing straight. Guns don't kill people.
I love this song.
Control is not convinced, but the computer has the evidence. No need to abort. The countdown starts.
Israel has never had a better friend than President Donald J.
Watching
Trump.
in a trance, the crew is certain, nothing left to chance. All is working, trying to relax. Up in the capsule,
Gold jacket,
simply
green
up a
jacket,
dream. Jokes, Major Tom. The count goes on.
I think so. Apologies, Your Honor.
Oh,
I know.
Anthem chorus blue balls.
You'll just have to wait till the end of the episode.
It's like I know how long the intro is, and I'm sitting there looking at like, come on. We're almost at the chorus.
I know, such a good song.
That's a great song. I don't know who that is.
I was just gonna ask if you did. I didn't know either, so I had to look it up. It's Peter Schilling.
Never heard it. Wouldn't have guessed
either.
that. Yeah.
Such a great song. Like, I can't imagine that guy didn't make anything else good. But one-hit wonders are a thing.
Yes, they are. Well, we erroneously thought that Tom Cochran was a one-hit wonder.
Oh, yeah.
And we found out it was in Red Rider.
Yes.
Guys just got bangers.
Totally.
Coming out of the holster.
Yeah, that guy is a fucking genius.
Yep.
On my drive over here today, I saw this guy walking down the street, and from a distance, he looked halfway normal. Although anyone that's just walking down the street, you got to be kind of suspect of. Like, what are you doing?
Yeah.
Right? Like, do you have a job?
Yeah.
Maybe you work at night. Okay. But still.
Yeah.
A little bit of suspicion.
And even pedestrianism as a whole just always bothers me.
As a philosophy.
As a philosophy.
So this guy had like a backpack on, and then down the front he had like a bunch of like stuffed animals attached to it.
Okay.
And I was like,
We're building the profile in my head.
It kind of pissed me off, and I was like, fucking, like, don't do that. And I was thinking to myself, like, why does that piss me off? Like, because there's plenty of people that I know, there are people listening to this podcast who like, who gives a shit? Like, just to each their own. Like,
Yeah.
I don't love his look, but I'm not going to get pissed off by it.
Yeah.
Right? And I think the reason that it pisses me off is that it has less to do with my negativity and more to do with my optimism. And that I look at the entire global humanity, let's say, or at least America, and maybe as you get closer and closer to my little community, I feel more and more fealty towards these people, and it's almost like you're on a football team and there's one guy on the team that's just fucking up, and you're like, dude, get it together. We are a team and we need you to do your part. And I feel like that with this guy walking down the street. It's like, you're part of my team. I'm actually optimistic about who we are as humanity. You're on the team simply by virtue of being a human, and you're fucking up. You're not carrying your weight. I need you to stop wearing furries around on the fucking street while you're walking around with no job.
This guy got under your skin, or your fur, as it were.
Yeah, well, it just kind of made me think, like, why, it's not me being a negative Nancy. It's more me just really wanting everyone to be kind of, let's go. We got shit to do.
I like that twist that you brought it back to optimism like that.
Yeah.
I like that.
I'm generally an optimistic guy. I think
you are. Always have been.
Yeah.
How's your Easter?
Good.
Nice.
Good. Went to church.
Very nice.
And
Oh, I got something to tell you. I can't say on here.
Okay. I brined a chicken in buttermilk
Yes.
and salt.
My wife does that. It's
Seasoning.
so good.
Holy fucking shit.
It's a game changer.
When I carved up the chicken,
Yeah.
and meanwhile, keep in mind, it's like I roasted it and it was almost black in some areas. So
Yeah.
I cooked the shit out of this
Yeah.
thing. Not too hot. I got it to the right temperature, but it was like really well cooked. As I carved into it, juice just like squirted me in the face. It was so juicy. Oh, it was so goddamn good. Just bathing in it. Probably the best chicken I've ever had.
It's like the shake weight of poultry.
Because the shake weight doesn't actually jizz on you, dude. And that's something that
Lord knows I haven't tried. We went camping for the weekend, and we went to a place I haven't been to in several years, and it was paradise. And I like my big thing. I wake up like super early in the morning. Mm-hmm. I like to walk around and look at everyone's rigs, their truck and their trailer.
Yes.
And just go on like truck recon.
Yeah.
Like, that's a nice truck. Like looking at suspension, like seeing what he did there, and like
Under his truck.
Yeah, just chatting.
Morning.
Just chatting with people.
Can I help you?
That's my favorite thing about camping is just like chatting with like the random people. But as far as camping goes, nothing cooler than camping next to a bounty hunter. And just having beers with him and him telling you stories. That was awesome.
Sounds like it.
Yeah.
You told me about it earlier.
Yeah. Unfortunately, I can't share the story because I don't want a hit put out on my head. I had to tell the guy, I'm like, you're not going to use my name, right? Because I helped him find someone.
Yeah.
It's like, I know that area pretty well, but yeah, that was interesting. Go ahead.
Did you have any like moral dilemma with helping the man catch somebody? I mean, do you know this guy is guilty, or why would you do that?
I definitely had that conversation in my head, and then I called a friend, kind of who's probably has a knack for this kind of thing, and he knows everyone. And I was like, hey, I don't know if I should get in the middle of this, and I definitely don't want you to. Do you know this guy by any chance? And he goes, yep, total dirtbag. I'm like, okay.
All right, fuck him.
Yeah, this is one of my best friends. I was like, I trust you on that. Yeah. I did think about that though. Like, I'm like, what? Like, why would I get involved?
Yeah. What did he do exactly? Did he start an internet website where you could buy things from all over the world without paying taxes?
Yes.
A Silk Road,
if you will. Dude, let me bounce something off you. Is this a stereotype in my head? Because when you pull into a campsite and you look over and you see that the people it's all about who you're next to, right? That can be the best weekend ever, or it can be a total nightmare.
Oh yeah. It could be a nightmare.
Yeah. And
it could lead to violence.
Yes, and it often does.
Yeah.
in the campground. I'd say 95%. And we camp a lot. We camp all year round, as you do. 95% of my experiences are just like 10 out of 10.
Yeah.
Because there's certain mentalities of people that want to go out for the weekend in a place like that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And when you pull in and you set up and you look over and you see, you're immediately assessing your neighbors. You're like, rednecks. I'm like, good. Because rednecks, I thought about this. I'm like, why is it that rednecks make the best campers as far as like who you're camping with, who you're camping next to? It's like we're in this place, it's absolutely packed to the gills. There were so many people there. Easter weekend, sunny, like just the whole weekend was flawless. And so everyone's jockeying around with their trailers trying to get to the dump stations and stuff like that, and they had like events for the kids, so there's like people everywhere. And it reminded me of church. It's like everyone is so polite and so nice. And I mean, granted, you're there to have a good time. No one's going in there with like a shitty attitude. But it's like,
no, but some people
everyone's
will go
drinking in the sun, and it's like never any problems whatsoever.
Some people will go in there wanting to have a good time and not caring how their good time might affect somebody else. So they'll do do really rude things,
or lack of self-awareness, lack of respect
music,
for the people around them. Yeah,
loud noises, dogs that are a pain in the ass.
Everyone's like blasting music at night, drinking around the fire. I can't remember what the time curfew was, like 9.
Yeah,
everything just shuts down,
right
just
off.
silence. Like everyone, it was pretty
following the rules.
Yeah. But it just made me realize
They're
because
free driving, really, if you think about it, because they don't want to break the rules. They're not rule followers,
yeah, they're respectful.
but they don't. And the rule is 9 o'clock, and everyone else is following the rules, so therefore they are going to shut their music off at 9 o'clock.
Yeah, it's not about following the rules. It's about not being an asshole.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Yeah, it made me think because we always talk about like I have a lot of friends. I was like, I only camp with certain people. I've just had a lot of experiences that like, and where I'm like, definitely not camping with that guy again. You know what I mean? Like people that just can't get with the flow of like what's going on in this place. You know what I mean? And it made me think that like now because we camp so much, I'm like everyone I camp with is more or less a redneck. And I was like, I wonder if that's intentional somehow or like subconsciously like I got there or like these guys just make the best campers. Like everyone has way too much food. Like everyone's got these like setups. You know, the guy next to me was like he made jerky, smoked it all day. You know what I mean? Dude, it was just bad.
Yeah.
Dude, the guy had a Traeger, a Blackstone, a regular gas grill, and then his stove. So I was just like, holy crap.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's just
Well, you don't find many campsites that, and we live in a very non-rednecky area.
yes.
You don't, but there's a lot of campsites around here. You go to those campsites and you don't find a lot of non-rednecks
Yes.
there.
Yeah.
And I don't know if there are campsites that attract fewer rednecks, but I haven't seen it. Maybe there are, I just don't know about it. Maybe they're all like tent campers.
So they had a big Easter egg hunt for the kids on Saturday morning, actually. They made it on Saturday. And I had texted you something along the lines of, I'm like, almost every guy here is wearing cowboy boots and some kind of camo. I'm like, just rednecks everywhere. And like you're saying, like, this is not like a total redneck area. I was like, but I think places like this attract people like that. And it just makes everything like flow really well. I don't know.
Sorry.
Yeah. We did have one pain in the ass couple, and I think they left early.
Really?
Yes.
Were they tent campers?
No, they had a sit down for this, a Sprinter van.
Okay. That's the in.
Painting a picture.
Because I was thinking, like, if you are a trailer camper, you need a vehicle that can tow the trailer, which 9 times out of 10 is a pickup truck.
Diesel, usually.
A lot of times it's a diesel.
Yeah.
So that you can't own that
Right.
if you are if you're in a certain club.
That's good. I didn't think of that. Yeah. Like just the price of admission alone kind of filters out like a lot of people. Yeah. So this guy.
But the Sprinter van is a caveat, let's just say. Like,
Yeah, a little bit of a Trojan horse. Yeah, and I love like setting up camp and just I immediately go and introduce myself. You know what I mean? Just check out the vibe and just let them know, hey, there's someone semi-normal is like next to you, like nothing to worry about, and establish like a relationship right off the bat. You know what I mean? And then, but yeah, because we had a group of us, we had like probably 5 or 6 sites, and we were kind of had this like clump. This guy was like on the edge of our commune, our redneck commune that we had. And you could just tell like he was just kind of stuffy. And I think they were out there. I think he was going into the weekend like, I want to listen to the birds, this is not that kind of spot. Like he's like, I want to have a quiet nature. Yeah. So it's like, you can't come to a place like that and expect that.
Yeah. If you don't know, I understand how you would think that that's what you're in for, and then you get there and realize, 'cause you said it was pretty tight in there too.
Yeah, and also this place is like you're butts to nuts in there. You're right next to everyone. So when we pulled in, I was looking at the lot lines for your camping site. I was like, their tent was like a little bit over our lot line. The people next, I was like, ooh, there's gonna be a tight squeeze. So I was like, I moved the trailer over. I was like, I want to give them some space, even though they're like technically, you know what I mean? Turns out they were a friend of a friend, and that was like the bounty hunters family. And he just ended up.
Good thing you didn't just drive over their tent.
Yeah, exactly. We wouldn't be here right now. Ended up being the greatest people ever. We'd fucking blast with them.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it was nice.
Cool. Yeah, I gotta.
But yeah, I was just going through that in my head. I was like, why? Maybe it's just places like this, but why do rednecks just kind of happen to make better campers?
Yeah. I think it's the free driving mentality.
Yeah.
I think it's the rednecks tend to be very family oriented, and therefore they're polite.
Yeah.
They're teaching their kids politeness.
Yeah. They all have that kind of old school conservative kind of foundation.
Yeah.
That they approach everything with. They also have more of a knack. They'll just wander into your campsite.
Yeah.
Say, hey, well, here's your truck. And you just end up like hanging out with this dude for 2 hours, which I love.
Yeah. That's good. We should, I'm going to marinate on that for a while. And then I'll have an answer for you.
Good. My Easter thoughts.
Let's see. God, I wish we had a freaking producer here. I want to put something on the screen for you. But I don't want to screw up. You know what? I'm just going to do it. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a couple things on the screen. And then after this is over, I'm going to spend 8 hours editing it so that it looks kind of like it does now.
We get paid for that.
Oh, yeah, totally. No, yeah. People are sending in money hand over foot. Hold on one second. Say something witty.
Isn't it hand over fist, the way that saying goes?
Yeah, maybe. I don't know. Leave me alone.
Hand over foot and disease?
Hand over foot and mouth disease?
Yes.
Let's see. What's on the screen there? Okay, here we go. Yeah, you get that as a kid. Okay, have you heard of a thing called the Technate?
Yes.
You have? All right, what's your understanding of...
I don't have an understanding, but I've heard Catherine Austin Fitz has been talking about this.
Oh, really? Okay, so what the Technate is, or was conceived of originally, is a in the 1930s, the Technocrats, technocracy movement kind of took hold, and it's basically where Aldous Huxley got his...
Yeah, I was just going to say it aligns with eugenics, now known as transhumanism. Yeah, I think it aligns with all that.
So this is the Technate of America, this map that you see on the screen here. It's, for those listening in audio, it's the U.S., Canada, Mexico, Greenland, all of Central America, and a chunk of the north part of South America, Venezuela being among them.
Yeah.
And then all of the Caribbean.
I heard a podcast on this because they were trying to solve the quandary of why, out of the blue, did Trump wake up and say, like, we need to take Greenland? And this is what it was about.
Interesting.
That's why I started hearing about this.
Okay. So the what the internet says about Technate is that it's this is from Diane Francis's Substack. What do Greenland, Canada, Panama, and Chainsaw Elon Musk have in common besides President Donald Trump? This is from May of last year. All are key elements in a modern version of the 1930s technocracy movement, founded by utopians who believed that governments and economies should be run by scientists and engineers, not politicians or businessmen. They proposed merging these countries to form a technate, or an entity governed by technocrats. In 1919, Technocracy Incorporated was founded by a New York engineer named Howard Scott and gained popularity and notoriety in the U.S. and Canada as an antidote to the carnage caused by the Great Depression. So, as always, things like this, utopian ideas stem from this idea that we could do things better. You look out in the world, you see how messed up everything is, and then you go, I'm smart enough to figure out how to do this better. And even if I'm not, there are some smart people out there. If we could just put those people in charge, then they could solve all these problems for us.
For those of you, if this sounds oddly familiar to what we're seeing now with Palantir and Bill Gates, also that what you're talking about at the beginning of the Technate is it ties into Club of Rome and the Committee of 300, and those are all linked to the eugenics kind of programs.
Yeah.
Which they just rebranded and call it transhumanism now. Which
right.
Ties us to the World Economic Forum.
Okay, so, God, I don't know why I'm coughing so much. I apologize. I'm sure it's not enjoyable to listen to. I bring you Professor Jang once again.
This
guy is fucking all over the place, right? Okay, check this out. This is him talking about polymarkets. Did you watch this video that I sent to you and Jake?
No.
Jake was commenting on it. It was pretty funny. Check it out. Wait, oh, you know what I did? Sorry, folks. Hold on. Here we go.
America is preparing for total war. Polymarket is a very interesting place to understand how global events will turn out, okay? And so there are 3 indicators that, in fact, a war is coming, a ground invasion is coming. First of all, the pizza index is exploding. What does this mean? It means that in the Pentagon, when they're preparing to launch a ground invasion, they need to work overtime. And so they call for pizza, okay?
This is good, I've seen this.
And so pizza deliveries are going up. Gay bars are empty. Okay? So when people are, don't have much to do, they go and, go on dates. Now
kind of glazes over that real quick. Like, hold on a second. The straight bars are not the indicator, it's the gay bars.
That's pretty interesting.
Isn't that interesting?
I've never seen that one. I've seen the pizza thing where they would track Domino's deliveries like right before we'd bomb some country.
So the implication there is that all of the people that work in the Pentagon are gay, or a lot of them.
I mean,
it matters that the gay bars are empty. That's kind of wild.
Is that people are making bets, large bets, that a ground invasion will happen, okay? So these are people who have inside information, and so they go on Polymarket and make a bet that this will happen, knowing it will happen. So this guy bet $200,000 that a ground invasion will happen, and if it turns out a ground invasion does happen, he will win over $1 million. Okay.
Yeah, that was going to be one of the indicators that we look back on of like when things truly went south, of like when our society that was kind of such a indicator species of like everything just went south from there.
That you can bet on things like that?
People started winning money on like us bombing, will they hit a school in the next bombing rate? And you'd win money if you got it right. And then it's like the Polymarket stuff's interesting because since the thing with Iran started, is all these people are winning like tons of money. And it's all first time bettors. So it's like people jumping in, they're making their first bet ever that we're going to bomb this place on this specific day and winning like an incredible amount of money, which, I mean, it's pretty obvious. Like, okay, this guy clearly had insider information. He's not a habitual gambler or some kind of degenerate. Like, he had insider information.
It's funny how over time we've realized that the better than any political poll is just Vegas.
Yeah.
The odds in Vegas are way more predictive of what's actually going to happen in the world than polls. Organizations calling people up that are sitting on their lazy boy like, oh, I'll take a poll. Like, so in this same video, he goes on to talk about what Donald Trump is doing right now. Now, normally like this wouldn't be that big of a deal, but because this guy is so popular right now and has been right about so many things, I think this is really worth taking a listen.
Donald Trump threatened to take over Greenland. Okay, so everyone thinks Donald Trump is just a moron. He doesn't plan ahead. Because before this war in Iran, where he needs the help of NATO, he was pissing off NATO by threatening to take over Greenland. So Donald Trump is over the place. He's just a moron, right? But let's just assume, okay, that the ground invasion goes ahead. What will happen? Well, as I predicted before, if a ground invasion were to go ahead, first of all, America would lose this war because the ground invasion would fail, and the Iranians are fully prepared for a ground invasion. Second of all, if America loses this war, the American empire would die because we'd be forced out of the Middle East. They would lose the petrodollar and the US dollar as a global reserve currency. And the third thing is the global economy would collapse. So clearly, Donald Trump is the worst president in human history. And he's a complete buffoon, right? Okay, but let's put our thinking caps on. Okay, let's use game theory and say, but what if, for some strange reason, Donald Trump wants to lose this war in Iran? What if he wants the American empire to collapse? What if Donald Trump wants to destroy the global economy? Then he'd be a genius, right? Right? He's a moron because he's going to destroy the American empire, but if he actually wants to destroy the American empire, then the man is the greatest American president ever, okay? Okay, so we're gonna have a fun class today, and we're gonna make the argument that in fact, Donald Trump is a genius. That in fact, all this chaos is purposeful. That there's actually a plan behind all this, okay?
That's what Catherine Austin Fitts just came out and said. This it's like they're not going to open the Strait of Hormuz. It's just pragmatically, like the logistics of it are almost impossible, right? Because they could wipe out the military, but like you'd have random guys there's mines in there. You know, it doesn't take a lot to disrupt shipping. You know, it's very, very easy to do. Keeping it open is really difficult, open and safe. And she's basically aligned with what he's saying. He goes, I think this is being done intentionally to crash the global economy.
Yep. I think I agree with that.
Have energy lockdowns, COVID 2.0.
Well, yeah, I think that's definitely an option that they're weighing. There's really no way to save the world right now. Yeah. Like we're past top dead center where we're going over the other side. Yeah. There's just no way to get back. Now, Trump, what Jang goes on to argue in this is that what Trump's really trying to do is just get Asia and the other countries to depend on U.S. natural resources. That's why he wants Greenland. That's why he took over Venezuela. That's why he's fucking with all the other countries in our hemisphere, is to create this Technate that will destroy the global economy, but then reset it so that the United States is still in charge, which is kind of brilliant if it works. Which there is no proof, or there's no reason to believe that it's going to work just based on that, because in my opinion, the pain that would be involved in destroying the global economy, it would take so long to rebuild that that's not worth it.
Yeah.
We'd be so much better off just living in a free market global economy, where there was no fuckery, there was no money printing. Everyone just built stuff and traded with their partners. There was no war. We would all be wealthy. We'd all be prosperous. I mean, that's obviously the way to go, and that's kind of how it used to be, at least more so. So here's Tucker kind of making the same point and playing the clip of Donald Trump talking about opening the strait.
Here's what the president said last night.
The countries of the world that do receive oil through the Hormuz Strait must take care of that passage. They must cherish it. They must grab it and cherish it. They can do it easily. We will be helpful, but they should take the lead in protecting the oil that they so desperately depend on. So to those countries that can't get fuel, many of which refuse to get involved in the decapitation of Iran, we had to do it ourselves. I have a suggestion. Number one, buy oil from the United States of America. We have plenty. We have so much. And number two, build up some delayed courage. Should have done it before. Should have done it with us, as we asked. Go to the strait and just take it. Protect it. Use it for yourselves. Iran has been essentially decimated. The hard part is done, so it should be easy.
You want the strait open? Do it yourselves. So what does this mean? Well, there are many levels on which you could analyze this. The first is the literal. So we have enough oil. We don't need the oil there. If you need the oil, you do it. To which a lot of people have noted, well, actually, oil is priced on the international market, and unless you shut down American oil exports and in some basic sense nationalize the oil companies, control them, use the government to control who they can sell to, then what happens in the Strait affects us here in gas prices and oil prices because we don't control those. So there's that. But bigger picture, what the president is saying is we can't open the Strait. And if it's so important to you, because we could nationalize the oil companies, actually, if it's so important to you, you do it. So who's he talking to exactly?
He says, Tucker makes the point, is he talking to Europe? I mean, is France and Spain going to like put on their big boy pants and go down to the Straits of Hormuz?
Start making people work 25-hour weeks. Open the Strait of Hormuz.
Like the Europe has no military to be able to go do that. Yeah. I mean, the U.S. basically doesn't have a military that can actually do that because to do that, you have to control Iran. Yeah. You have to control that whole region to do that. That's just impossible to do. We can't even bring our aircraft carriers in close enough for them to be useful here because they get hit with missiles and fucking plywood drones.
You know, it'd be a great band name. The Gays of Hormuz.
Yeah.
We're going to start writing music after this.
No one's talking about the gays of Hormuz. It's all about the Straits. Like, I mean, I get the woke thing is over, but like, we're taking this a little too far, aren't we? And so he says, who is he really talking to? I mean, Europe can't do this. He's like, he's talking to the only country on earth that could probably pull this off, which is China. Mm-hmm. Right. And China depends on that oil greatly.
Yeah. A lot more than the rest of the world.
Yeah. So China could start buying oil from us, so they could go in and they could do that. But even China's not going to be able to do that. Yeah. Even if you were to wipe out Iran and leave it like a failed state like Libya. Mm-hmm. Like a failed state like Libya could fuck up shipping in the Straits of Hormuz if they were on the coast there. Yeah.
Like any place that has open air slave markets, we can call them not stable regions.
Like those people are capable of disrupting shipping there. So what's really probably happening is it's kind of like it's the conspiracy theory thing where you hear a conspiracy theory and you go, really? Like Trump really is in this war to lose and to end the global economy? And the guy
we're getting into 3D chess.
Yeah, it is. It's exactly that. But like with every conspiracy theory, like you start thinking about it and it either makes sense or it doesn't. It's like flat Earth. I've thought about it. In order for flat Earth to be right, everything science has ever known would have to be wrong.
Yeah, the thing
I just can't. I can't go there. It's like I don't think every single thing that scientists have ever discovered is wrong.
Or the way that I go with conspiracy theories, or whatever you want to call them, which is a totally loaded term, is the flat Earth thing, which is a discussion like I really like to have with people. At the end of the day, I was like, I don't understand who benefits from this theory. You know what I mean? Like what's the big payoff at the end?
Right.
As opposed to hearing about Jeffrey Epstein for the first time, you're like, major payoff there.
Right.
If this is true. Yeah. So
you go through Jeffrey Epstein and the conspiracy is that he was murdered. Mm-hmm. Like, well, they said he killed himself and people do kill themselves and he was probably going to be convicted of some crimes. And for a lot of people, that's a good reason to kill yourself. And then you start knocking down like hearing all of the excuses as to like why the guards fell asleep, why the cameras didn't record anything, why the doctor said it didn't look. I mean, there's just one thing after another, and you start going, hold on a second. And so with this, Trump is actually trying to lose this war to shut down the global economy. Mm-hmm. At first, you're like, that's hard to believe.
Yeah.
But then you just start looking at what's actually going on there, and you're like, like, why did we do this in the first place? Like, what was the reason?
Yeah,
because they had nuclear weapons that our own intelligence agencies
I was thinking about it over the weekend.
The only people that said they did have it were their sworn enemies, Israel.
Yeah.
and Fox News, but I repeat myself. And then what? Because they killed 40,000 protesters? Like, we have a problem with that? Is there any proof that they killed the 40,000 protesters?
Like
all I've seen was a dozen body bags.
Yeah. Yeah, I was thinking about this because this is, this war, usually when we go into Iraq, for example, it's like we have a certain kind of consensus of people that, start flying Old Glory. They're like, yeah. And then it becomes like wildly unpopular. We're like, okay, like, so it's not kind of what you said, you said mission accomplished after 2 weeks. Like, we're still here. People are still dying. This one's different for a couple different reasons with Iran because, we are going into it with the least amount of public support, I think, in any war in my lifetime that people pay attention to. They don't pay attention to Yemen, Syria, and shit like that. And also this is the first time, to my recollection, that we're going into another country and we were never giving, like, the reason. We were given, like, 7 kind of half reasons. Like, well, they got a nuclear program and we want to liberate the people and they fund terrorists, and it just like all this, every 2 weeks, it kind of like morphed into something.
They chant death to America.
They chant death to America, for some reason after we bombed their school and killed a bunch of children.
Tried to overthrow their country. And
it's like this one, I was like, we weren't even given, this guy has chemical weapons or this guy has a nuclear weapon. You know what I mean? It was just like this kind of potpourri of like they took all the narrative talking points from the last 25 years and just kind of put them together into a tea and like, here, drink this, fuckers.
Yep. Exactly. So that's what it seems like is going on to me. And then you look at what Professor Jang was saying about the Technate, and Donald Trump is actively trying to get Greenland.
Yes. We
have invaded or bombed the shit out of and kidnapped the leader of Venezuela. We are fucking with Cuba right now. We are fucking with all these countries in our sphere now. We are talking about taking Canada too. Yes. That was on the table. Like, all of this stuff kind of lines up. So did you listen to Macroaggressions over the weekend? He had some
about transhumanism.
He had some people on that were talking about Praxis.
I didn't listen to the whole thing, but
okay.
Yeah.
So
what they were talking about, I'm pretty familiar with.
Okay.
Yeah.
So have you heard
those two people, his two guests, they do another podcast called Union of the Unwanted, and what they're covering on that episode, they talk about almost every episode.
Cool.
Yeah.
Well, they brought up basically they were talking about how these techno optimists are kind of like ruling over us right now. And they believe that as long as you can create data about someone or some system, then you can figure out a way to manipulate that system to optimize it. Right? So all of your health data, if we just compile enough data, we could figure out like how long you're going to live and how, and on its surface, that kind of stuff sounds cool. And it is cool if you are the one that's in control of your data and it's not being used in a malicious way. But of course it is, because these people don't stop with just your health. They're thinking about like, oh, what's the health of society is what we really want to do. So let's take all the cripples and throw them off a fucking cliff, right? That's where we get to.
We're back to eugenics.
Exactly.
Yeah, these people, these technocrats, they don't have this vested interest in making you more healthy and doing that for free with information. There's some kind of payoff. We're back to the payoff for the conspiracy theory. That's what the eugenics movement was. That's what the transhumanist agenda is. When you hear Yuval Harari at the World Economic Forum talking about biometric data, you know what I mean, to optimize people's health, he's also the guy talking about that we only need 500,000 people on Earth. Like, you gotta put those two things together.
So have you heard of Praxis?
Yes.
So
great band also, by the way.
Oh, really?
From the 90s.
Praxis is a city that's being planned in Greenland. And the idea behind Praxis is that it's going to be this techno state. And they're going to use AI to govern over the people. So if you read through their website, it's super creepy. They talk about how there's 3 ways to defeat the future that's kind of in front of us, which is this existing system of politicians and rich oligarchs kind of ruling over us and using AI to dominate us. And these guys say that you can the way that you can survive through this dystopia is either to join the government, to join a union that just gets favors from the government, or you can exit. And then they go on and they say, actually, the correct answer is a synthesis of the 3. And so they want to have this like AI topia.
Headboxville.
City. And so Peter Thiel is the one that's actually behind this.
What could go wrong?
And we know Peter Thiel is heavily involved in our government as it is right now.
They're using the Palantir software for the Habsor program to use AI to decide who they're going to bomb in Gaza. And many other countries.
And J.D. Vance is Peter Thiel's guy, right? He's basically a creation of Peter
Thiel funded J.D. Vance's campaign.
Right.
Yep.
Remember when Jamie O'Brien was on and he said that J.D. Vance was just going to be installed as the new president? I'd never thought of that before, and that's another one of those ones that's like, wow, that's out there. Like, I'll definitely need some more evidence before I can sign on to that. But ever since he said that, I keep thinking about J.D. Vance. And he always has this kind of demeanor of just being totally at ease.
Yeah.
And just relaxed.
Yeah.
He's like, you know.
I know how this ends.
Yeah. Things happen. You know, I'm just going to kind of sit back and just wait for the inevitable end that's coming.
This movie's not scaring you? I've already seen it.
Exactly. Okay, so this is from Google's AI. Praxis is a network state startup backed by billionaire Peter Thiel that aims to build new technologically advanced and autonomous cities with a particular focus on establishing a crypto state in the Mediterranean or Greenland. Founded in 2019 by Dryden Brown and Charlie Callanan, the company has raised over $525 million to create cities that emphasize minimal government regulation, AI, and biotechnology. Wow, it's funny how AI will change its answer every time you look it up, because it said libertarianism in this the last time I saw it, and I was like, people always get what libertarianism is wrong.
Yes,
including libertarians.
Yes,
but what is something that's key to this is that they are calling this freedom. Right? You're free from what? Struggle?
Yeah.
Like a socialist or a communist manifesto would say. You're free from class struggle. You're free from tyranny from the government.
Now you can be a poet or a musician or whatever you wanted to be.
And it reminded me of the sermon from Sunday at church. Did you happen to watch it? So our pastor was talking about the idea of freedom. He was saying what you think freedom is being able to do whatever you want to do with no consequences. You know, like I'm going to I can drink as much alcohol as I want to because I'm no longer a kid living in my parents' house. I'm out on my own. I'm free. I can do whatever I want. I can drive how I want to drive. I can, just hook up with as many chicks. Like, no, I could just do whatever I want to do. And then you find out as you get older, like that's leads to a lot of consequences that are pretty negative.
Yeah.
And yes, you're free to do whatever you want, but you haven't found freedom.
It goes back to the saying, like, as an adult, I eat far less ice cream than I thought I would have eaten as a little kid. Because you're a little kid.
Yeah.
Like, all I eat is ice cream.
Totally.
Like, you can't do that. You'll die.
Yeah. And is it Jocko who has that slogan, discipline equals freedom? And that doesn't make sense, right? Like discipline isn't the same as freedom. Freedom is just doing whatever you want to do.
Yeah.
How is discipline equal freedom? It's because if you are disciplined to do the right things,
it creates freedom.
It gives you the freedom to, your body is healthier. You're not a slave to medicine or hospitals.
Your finances are taken care of. Your house is in order. Your kids behave. Your wife is awesome and happy. Yeah.
I was telling my son on the way home from church, I was like, It reminds me of our dog. Our dog is a puppy, and he's a fucking handful. He's a pain in the ass.
He is.
And so when he's on the leash next to me, like, he has no freedom.
Yeah.
He is right next to me. That's it.
Yeah.
It's the only option. Not even allowed to sniff the ground, right? And it doesn't seem like that's freedom, but what I'm doing is training him so that he can eventually be off the leash.
Yeah.
And be around other dogs and around people and not get locked in a cage and not get punished for that, you know? And God kind of does the same thing with us. Keeps us on a very short leash and trains you to want what God has to give rather than getting anything that you want.
Yeah.
Right? And there is freedom in that. And so when Peter Thiel is talking about the freedom that's going to be allotted to us by adopting the AI overlords that are going to run these techno states, it is not freedom. And it's just ridiculous that they're pitching it that way. And they're calling it Praxis, which I actually texted Jamie O'Brien, like, have you heard of Praxis? And he said, oh, yeah. And he sent me back this. He said, this is from the behindthename.com. So the Greek origin of Praxis is action or sex in Greek. He's like, the Epstein class just can't help themselves. Well said. And I just think about, like, how shitty AI is and how it's getting better and better and better. Well, it's getting more and more powerful, let's say.
Yeah.
But it's always going to be shitty.
Yes.
It's always going to be the Indian woman on the phone that you're trying to, figure out why your shock absorbers went to the wrong address with, right? She could be more powerful, but it's still not the same as talking to the person who actually has the answer for you, right? And I was on hold today, actually, with the bank, and I was just going fucking insane. I think I was on hold for 10 minutes, and they just kept playing the same announcement over and over again. Have your information ready so we can help you. We take your privacy very seriously, so make sure you have your information ready. And you're like, okay, once is enough.
Yeah.
I obviously have my information ready. I'm calling you. You didn't call me, okay? I am prepared for this. And it was going over and over and over, and you can't hang up. And then there's music in between, and the music is just so patronizing.
Yeah.
It's like...
This is music from my bank. I'm almost intrigued by it. I'm like, what third stage syphilis maniac wrote this music? It's up there with, like, the Cars for Kid commercial or the O'Reilly theme song.
Right.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
I was thinking, like, do they have one operator that's answering all the calls? Like, they probably have 1,000 calls coming in every hour, right? Maybe more. It's a big bank, 10,000 calls an hour.
Yeah.
So they don't have one operator, right? But you know how many operators they have? They have just enough so that you don't wait past the period of time that they've calculated as the amount of time where you would go postal on them, right?
Or just get a different bank, but
okay.
Same thing.
Exactly, right? And so you can compete with that bank by answering the phone, like our local bank does, right? But they have a formula, which means that you are part of their formula. Yes. You're part of their AI or whatever. They've calculated how long they can possibly make you wait, make you suffer through the most awful music and this repeated message over and over and over again, up to the point where you would, like, just quit and go get a different bank.
Yeah.
Right? They know what that is. They have it down to a fucking science.
Yes.
And that's what the AI overlords are going to do to you also. That's how your life will be run by these AI overlords. It's kind of like, I thought of a million examples of this, but again today I was driving around and
we're going to keep you emotionally satiated just to the point that you don't think about bringing this whole system down. It's like we're going to give you just enough where you just shut the fuck up.
Just enough soma.
And let us do our work.
Yep. Just like in Brave New World. Like, we're just going to keep you just satiated enough.
Yeah.
I'm just going to keep complaining. So I was driving around and the light came on. It was flashing and it said that my air pressure was low. I was like, I looked at the tires. They look fine, but don't want to fuck anything up. I'll just go to the gas station, put the air in. I asked them if they could turn it on. They're like, yeah, we'll turn it on. I go out there, it's not on. And I can turn it on, but I have to pay $3.
Yeah.
And I'm thinking, there's no way this makes money for the gas station. There's not enough people filling up air that they need to charge money, or that they're making. There wasn't a board meeting and someone's like, I got it. I figured out a way to make us another like $4 million per station this year. We're going to charge $3.
Yeah.
Right? It's not that, right? It's just they don't want you to use their air.
Yes.
And they know that they can push you just enough to where you won't go somewhere else. And everyone does it, and they just push you. They push you right to the limit, and then they back off right at that limit. It's the same thing. It's kind of like the bike lanes. So I don't know if you noticed around our town, the roads are absolute garbage everywhere.
Yes.
They repave roads that have already been repaved. They're already smooth, and then they block off the streets and they repave that road.
Yeah.
Maybe it's easier. I don't know.
Yeah.
But they've put in these bike lanes all over.
They just had a study of California. We're dead last in road conditions.
Yeah.
We pay the highest amount for a mileage tax.
Yep.
When you register your car. And those are like, well, we're going to improve the roads.
And the gas tax.
And once again, and the gas tax. And then once again, we're dead last in road conditions. I remember taking a road trip out of state, and we were like driving 5-6 hours. I was like, I think my suspension is shot. Like I might fuck. I'm gonna have to like redo my suspension when I get home. Oregon border. Perfect. Just like
exactly. So they've put in all these. Not only do the roads suck, but now they've taken up lanes on our local streets. To use for bike lanes.
San Francisco is a perfect example of this. I mean, which has horrific traffic congestion.
Yeah.
They made it even worse. They like put in concrete dividers with more bike lanes.
Right.
It's just like this forced behavior modification of like they're going to try to force you out of your car. Like, but everyone's commuting here. They don't cross the bridge and hop on a bike and then right down to the office.
You know, at least in San Francisco, you see people riding bikes.
Yeah.
I've been driving up and down Dutton for weeks now as I drop my kid off in the same place. I haven't seen one fucking bike in the bike lane. In fact, you know what I did see? Right after they put in these bike lanes and they put those bollards in so that you just can't get over into that lane anymore, I saw a guy riding his fucking bike down the sidewalk. Great. So we did all this work. We paid all this money. We made traffic worse by blocking the lanes, and the motherfucker is riding down the sidewalk.
Maybe he's anti-pedestrianism.
Antipedestrianism.
There's a shirt.
Across the stratosphere, a final message. Give my